When I got out of parochial school, the first 8 years, I went to a public school, and that's when I started gradually getting into all the street happenings, you know. To me, these were the people that were doing something. These were the people that was into life, you know, and I was shooting dope and shooting dope and shooting dope. And that's when they started. I started getting busted, getting out, getting busted, getting out. And I used to go out there and go here for a job, go there for a job, go here, there for a job. And I gradually fall back into the street thing until I go back to jail.
Supported work attempts to break an endless cycle of crime and punishment. Wildcat gives employment, skills, and work history to ex-addicts whose only means of support is welfare. Most of the 1,800 workers are on methadone. The therapy or supports are work and peer group reinforcement. After at least 6 months, work-ready participants are moved out of Wildcat into real jobs. Pay is composed of diverted welfare checks, money from foundations, city and corporate contracts, and funds from the federal government. Wildcat workers work 35 hours a week and make twice as much after taxes as they would on welfare.
Being that we haven't graduated from high school, ex-drug addicts or ex-offenders, you know, and this type of thing, you know, it gives you a type of feeling that you're not really going to be accepted. That means that you have to try a little harder if you intend to be successful, you know?
We have to be a little more better than the person out there that make a mistake. So that's right now, we are doing more, trying more harder to accomplish something so we can raise our families and do, because it seems like society is always pushing us, trying to make us go back and fall back into that, to the gut where we came from. But now, it seems like we're trying harder, and I guess society eventually is going to accept us, that we human just like everybody else. The only thing we just made error along in life. And let's hope that society will understand us. We are here trying, each of us is out here trying to do something for our life. We're not trying to go back out there and destroy it like we was doing before. Now we're trying to do something for, help us live, to have a better life. And I just hope society will just take heed and say, well, give them a chance.
Now, George, have you spent any time at all away from New York City? Whether it be incarcerated or traveling?
Well, I wasn't born in New York City, one thing. And I did 2 hitches in the service in the Marines and the Army.
Okay. When was the last day that you used heroin?
Oh, man, I think it was November the 11th. I started on methadone about 10 o'clock in the morning.
You were what? Desperate.
Yeah, it was. And I had to sit around waiting. I didn't want to get ill.
Okay. Now, you've been arrested.
Yeah, but I never spent any time in jail.
Okay. Now, the next question is, have you been convicted?
Well, yeah, one just for, you know, what do you call it?
A misdemeanor.
Yeah, right.
Were you placed on probation for that misdemeanor?
Was suspended.
Now, you've only had one job in the last 36 months, 3 years.
Yeah.
Why did you leave?
Well, you know, I was using drugs at the time, you know.
Okay. Let me tell you a little bit about what Wildcat has to offer. We have training. We have vocational counseling. We can supply you with a 9 to 5 responsible work history for a year.
Right. Coming over today, I was a little nervous because, I haven't worked in about 3 years, so it was almost like a new experience. I was figuring about time, I can go ahead and get a job instead of depending on this welfare, I got tired. Tired of that same routine of running and you getting busted, you looking over your shoulder for police all the time, man. I'm getting too old for that. I'm 38 years old. Just want to get myself together, and try to help myself. And this is the only way I can do it. like, for instance, man, if you go, like, to the employment agency or something, you know, trying to get a job, man, and they know that you're on drugs or not, you're not going to get it. Or that you had been on drugs or something. You can't get, but in a lot of places they send you, man, and they see that some place you can't hide your tractor and whatnot, you know, you're going to blow.
As long as I keep on working, I'm going to keep on working. You know, everything's going to be all right. I know this, you know. I know this. I got confidence in myself, which before I didn't, you know. Now I be looking at it this way that I got to do for myself. If I don't do for myself, who going to do for me, you know?
Get a piece of wood to put in there.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I haven't picked up a brush in a long time, you know, but I'm learning, you know. Every stroke I'm getting better and better. I mean, you can see. I'm not a very good painter. Well, the foreman's helping me a lot. He knows a lot. I think he's very good. He's been working here for quite a while now for Wildcat. He's giving me tips there and there, you know, how to paint, how to mix, how to get more paint on the wall than on yourself. He's all right. He's pretty good people. And he's a person just like me, you know. He's never pulling rank on you, you know, do this, do that, you know, like anybody else. We get the job done our way, you know. We do a real good job here.
My job, the job that I used to do, sometimes I do it, you know, just to go home, you know, do the job and get paid and go home, you know. Now I'm interested because they're teaching me, you know, I want to learn. I want to go and do it the right way. So when I get out of here and get a good job, I could get the money that I'm supposed to get, you know.
Most training the men get is on the job, but a few projects do have formal instruction along with the work.
Right, and this here would be connected to what? This would be connected to the drive shaft, right? So that means, look, it can't be reversed. So this is the intake. It has to be the intake. It can't be nothing else, right?
So this one is the intake side, right? Because that washes out the cylinder, right? And it's pushing against the exhaust side. The burn fuel from here is moving out here, coming out from the exhaust port and going down to the lower unit to the exhaust, right? And it all fits together like this.
The supervisor has to be a professional in the trade who can teach and relate to ex-addicts as well as coordinate their efforts with the customer. In this case, a burned-out firehouse.
But any place we go, we sell ourselves with the things we do, with the work we do, and the way we carry ourselves. These big cable hanging in.
Yeah, everything is this.
Leave all this in here.
But all of this, take out.
Just take out
Leave the
frame.
boxing.
Right.
Right? I'm going to cover this.
And then spread it out again.
2x4 around the perimeter with a plywood panel.
As far as the field operation, the supervisor is the key in a particular trade. Because when we take jobs like a contractor. We take them with production schedule. We take them with time elements involved. So he has to know the work. It has to be conducted safely. Have to know when you're stripping out, where to shore, where to brace. He has to know the trade. He has to know his business. Our reputation is as much as any penalty clause, any liquidated damage price that might be attached to it. That's right. Use it to cut, that's right. Use it to cut your back up off. That little piece his skill is the confidence that's bred in the men. That's what you call them. Because they respect you for what you do, they respect what you know. If you don't know, and if you can't do, then they don't listen to you. They don't mean you no personal offense, but they don't have time to waste like that. Then take your chisel and take off the back. Now take your chisel, right. Drive it in. All right, take it out and move it down. Now drive it in below where you put it at. Good. Easy? That's the way you do it, a little at a time. You can't just deal with the work. You got to deal with the individual. You got to deal with their problem. But there's no social worker training on my part. It's just the benefit and the knowledge of an awful lot of experience, you know, at young ages, man. There's very little that happens with them that I'm not familiar with, that I don't know about, because I walked this road first. I walked it by myself with no help. And some guys don't have problems. Some guys, you just got to teach him how to work with his hands. This looks like something that he can do in the future that means some money to him, other than taking somebody else's. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I expect we'll have a little resistance, but I think if we do the job and if we're competitive, one thing will happen. They can't stop us from working.
Getting the job done is often easier than getting the job.
One of the things that Wildcat has had to deal with is the suspicion, the questioning of the kind of operation we are. And I felt it was extremely important to get out into the community to talk to as many community leaders as possible to first tell them what we're not, that we're not a drug clinic and not a point of congregation for junkies, that we are an employer of ex-addicts. And then to seek in the community the kinds of services where we can make a contribution. Chemical Bank says that it would be difficult to get a mortgage. Why can't Wildcat do most of the 19.5, which the general contractor said that they would do? If the architect can provide supervision, can Wildcat replace all or most of this, at least in labor? The materials is naturally going to be the same. Then Chemical can work 2 or 3 different ways to make funds available, possibly to give consulting service to the architect, who can provide the kind of supervision over plumbing and heating that you are worried about, as I understand it. Right?
This is my biggest concern.
Does my architect take the care of
That's the point.
Well, that is the point.
That's right. We'll keep him on the job because he has to be the overall
Because
supervisor.
Cleve himself has his own standards, but we would like to have somebody representing the owner to establish the standards to make sure that our production meets those standards, and therefore our guys get the training that they need.
I would say about 60% of our men come from this same community. You know, they're not only helping the community, they're helping themselves.
We went around throughout the 44 block area, and we informed all the individual homeowners of the Wildcat service.
Well, you know you can call us and have us treat your home with rat poison, or you can have us clean a basement, or you can have us clean a backyard, or a lot next to you that you might think is hazardous.
In this neighborhood, I'm going to just put the word around because I think it's great.
Yeah,
it is great. And I think this is what you call a drain on the working side to let men like those young men go to waste.
Wildcat is on the case. He's gonna give these rats a little taste of some of his super fly, super slick stuff from the exterminator's place.
To someone who has been repeatedly denied a job, work itself can be the greatest support. 13 ex-addicts with above-average skills were selected off the streets by Wildcat Intake, but were then hired and paid as regular employees at the private bank in this experiment.
Other than those 2 incidences where a person reverted to drugs, have we had any out-of-the-ordinary incidences here where these people have been working that any other employee coming in would have had?
Not really. You know, initially we started out and we separated this group from the rest of our staff. They worked as a separate unit. And of course, a part of that was the reinforcement that they would generate working as a unit. But at this point in time, they're pretty much spread through our whole organization. They're accepted as much as anyone else. I doubt that many of our operators would even be able to identify who are the people who came in under this program. So I'd say essentially no, there haven't been any real major problems. We've identified a couple of people who, as a matter of fact, very quickly said this work is awfully boring. You know, is this the best you can do? And those people have subsequently moved on to better jobs. As a matter of fact, if you asked me to draw an average through this group versus our regular staff, I'd have to say they would measure up slightly above the average of the rest of our staff.
We were very selective, as you know, in the people that we could take. Being a bank, we couldn't hire anybody who'd been convicted of a crime of dishonesty or breach of trust. So we did screen those people out. So we didn't hire general run-of-the-mill kind of ex-offender or ex-addict. Right. Since this was a pilot project, frankly, we wanted it to succeed, and we creamed for it.
Sure.
To be very honest about it.
You know, if this little pilot project of ours can be successful, we have every reason to believe that it will be successful, and everything points to its ultimate success, that we're not just talking about 10 or 13 jobs or 20 or 30 jobs. We're talking about the opportunity to employ meaningfully thousands and thousands of ex-offenders and ex-addicts who can be rehabilitated in this supported work program and have meaningful lives, and you could almost say that that's that a subsidiary benefit from that could be a significant reduction in the crime in New York City.
Supported work isn't for everybody. Most of the men we work with already anticipate failure. So if you're not careful in the selection process and cannot quickly recognize and overcome administrative hassles, then you can only add to that discouragement.
Yeah. Then that brings to mind George Viola. Look at him for it. Now, he had trouble, seemed like, from day one when he first started, you know. All of a sudden, they calls him over to 29, you know. Now, that don't make sense to me. They should be glad, wow, Bronx hired him, beautiful. They should squash all that. But he ended up getting frustrated. He started drinking, you know, I mean, after work. Like one day we went home, we saw him after work, after he was running back downtown, uptown, downtown, and he was frustrated. He was tired. He was mad.
So they gave him the runaround.
Yeah, plus his kidney was bad on him.
Same old thing. So what was more or less the outcome on that?
The end result was that
he gave up.
He gave up. Because
you had frustration facing you 4 different ways, right?
Yeah.
4 different ways: medically, the job, and then them people downtown.
Family.
And then family too. Hey, you would have gave up too.
Now he's back standing on the corner, probably. There are those who are going to make it, and there are those that are not going to make it. I mean, it depends on the person, you know? I know what I have to do. So, yeah.
If you're tired of the corner, you're tired of the corner. You know, you want to... Because before we started using drugs, we were responsible. I know I was. And I got tired of the same old thing, laying around waiting for a check once a month, you know. Even though it doesn't pay, the job doesn't pay that much, but it's a job, it's something to do. And I want to make it, you know. I'm going to make it.
Supported work encourages advancement with raises. Workers with good attendance records and leadership abilities are promoted to foreman.
Watch these wires up here, because I don't know whether they're live or not. A foreman's job is not easy. It's hard. I'm all over this building, 5 days a week, 7 hours a day. I'm up and down all day long because I have different fellows working in different areas in the building, and I have to make sure that each of them don't run out of paint, that it's being done right. I have to make sure all these things are right. If they're not right, then I'm responsible for it. And like this crew here, they seem to like working with me. They give me that feeling. They don't give me any problem. They show me that she says that's the way it's going to be done. Let's do it that way. That's it.
I mean, plaster it first, shellac it. Then by the time you take your break and come back, the shellac will be dry enough you can paint this. All right?
I work with them every day, and I see where one of them may come in and they don't have no smiles, or they don't talk the way they've been talking all along, then right away it gives me a feeling that there's a problem somewhere. So I won't say nothing to him right then and there. I'll wait, start working, and then I'll just gradually, hey, what's the matter with you today? You got a beef, a real problem? And eventually I'll pull it from him, and if it's some way that I can help him, I'll help him.
The most important thing about Brian is that he do have a slight drinking problem. And several weeks ago when you mentioned to me that, you came to work intoxicated, I talked to him. And he had an appointment with a doctor downtown. I talked to the doctor, and the doctor said they were working with him. And as long as he's not bringing that problem to work, understand, we hope that he's handling it pretty good on the outside when he's home. That's good, So, like that pattern, we've been out twice on a Monday in this dad. Mr. Brown, she got to know that next time he be out on a Monday, to find a doctor note, he gonna have to be, he have to pay the cost. Okay?
I'd rather not suspend him if I can. If I can talk to him and he decides he's gonna show me what he's gonna do better, fine. But if he can't, then I'll have to suspend him to let him know that I mean just what I said, that you had to pick this thing up. But I try very hard to talk to him in ways rather than suspend him. I'd rather talk to him. Well, that's when I spoke to you about the drinking over there, right? Okay, you good. 1, 2, 3, and then it's 4. 4 days, 4 Mondays. That's not good at all. So what you've got to do is you got to come up on, bring that up to date, because it's sort of like you're setting a pattern for me, showing me that you're going to be out. It's more or less like a thing where you're telling me the way it's set up in the past, you're telling me that you're going to be out every Monday, and that's no good at all. You got to pick up on that. So, for my advice, take it easy. Check on that, period. Because the next time it happens, Mr. Davenport said it may lead to a suspension, but you really don't need that. Okay? Good enough. Good enough. Good enough, yeah, because they're on it. You can't only put too much in it because it'll be too dark. So, like, when you do it, if you should happen... I've really gotten myself wrapped up and involved in this job a whole lot. Sometimes I actually hate when Friday gets here. I really do, because I hate to see it. I hate to see it go, because Mondays always seems to be a blue day, like a turnabout, to get to start the whole show all over again.
New York City, with its $8.1 million investment into this Wildcat program, really get 2 types of services. It gets services for rehabilitation to a population who's deserving of those human services, and it also gets services to rehabilitation of the capital assets of this city. We find that Wildcat people are engaged in the kind of services which the city could not get done otherwise.
So a project this large has never been done anywhere in the country as far as microfilming is concerned. So to be very honest, I had a great deal of apprehension when the project first started. I didn't really know what to expect. I've never dealt with ex-addicts, ex-offenders, or what have you before. I personally didn't know what reactions an ex-addict might do if he's off drugs. I didn't know how freaky they would become. I didn't know whether or not honesty or thievery would be the byword. And what I have found is a penny is safe. It has reached such a point that I personally have gone out on the line and recommended 2 people, 2 of the Wildcats, for employment in the commercial area with a friend of mine. They are microfilm camera operators, and as the moment, he's very happy with that.
For me, it feels kind of funny getting up in the morning and going to work, but I think that it's really better because with Wildcat, you're working around all the things that, like maybe you want to get away from. People who have done the same things that you've done, Whereas when you get out in private industry, you're working around people, like, in a sense, you can say, who are straight, and you have to be straight. No more hip talk, and you can't be coming in late, and, a friend might cover for you or something like this. But, I think that everybody that's working for Wildcat should try to get out. Because so far, I haven't ran into any problems, and I don't think that a person who's been in like that hip life, that street life, I don't think that they're no different than anybody else. And once that they get, once they really get the understanding that they can do it, and they decide to stop, I think they make better employees than people who've been working all their lives.
Why is that?
After you've been involved with, like, say, maybe narcotics or jail, once you get the understanding that you can do it, as far as and doing it right, you got a goal. Whereas, like, you don't want to mess up. And it hurts if you do mess up. It hurts within yourself.
Now, it might be useful if each one of you let us know what you're interested in doing after you leave Wildcat. I think everybody knows that Wildcat's a transitional program. There's no time limit. You can stay in here for a year or 2 years or something like that, but eventually most people want to move out and have a job on their own, get in a union, get in a private sector company, do whatever. Helen, you applied to the phone company on your own, right? Why don't you tell us where things are now?
Well, like, the time that I have spent at the telephone company seems to be like, it was a runaround thing to me. When I get down there one day, it was, the person that was supposed to see me wasn't aware of it, didn't know what was happening, didn't know I was coming, or then I was shifted to someone else, and someone else was shifted back to someone else, and then it was come back the next day, and we'll send you an appointment, and
if we know what the problem is, we don't mind going wherever we have to go to open some doors and try to do it. Not that we always can do it, but at least we can try. Now, at the phone company, I might be able to speed things up if you're interested. But that's what we'll have to maybe talk about with you yourself. I know how you feel that they're giving you such a hassle. It'll always be a hassle even once you get in. Is that what you're kind of thinking now?
just for the thought that I'm a drug addict, period,
Well,
they
the one...
feel like once a drug addict, always a drug addict, and nothing's gonna change it. We've always tried. We're still trying, but it's not showing. They haven't shown me yet where they're accepting it yet.
The phone company?
No, not only the phone company.
Yeah.
A lot of other places out there aren't accepting it yet. People say, we gotta keep on trying. We are keep on trying. I'm not gonna give up faith in it, no.
Yeah.
But I'm just not gonna push something like that with them, because as I said, I don't want to get in it, and then for the least little thing, I'll be gone from Wildcat, gone from the phone company, and out there pushing to try to find something else. I want something that I can go into, feel relaxed in, know that I've got it, and going to continue with it. But something that I know I'm going to have a hassle, feel I'm going to have a hassle with, I'm not interested.
You say we're trying, we definitely are, because the whole concept of Wildcat is proven to the city of New York and all other states and cities in the country that ex-drug addicts can work and can be consistent on a job. There's gonna be hassles because people don't believe it. There's no such thing as ex-addicts to them, or to a whole lot of places that we send people to. But we just have to keep trying. I mean, at least we're trying, we're demonstrating something. There are people all over the city demonstrating something, like in your crew and up in the firehouse that they were talking about. All over the city, people see Wildcat. And I think the city is becoming more and more aware of them every day.
And I think that's what we want to help people get over is not just doing the work. That's the mainstay, but you got to also learn how to deal in a pretty straight world that isn't really ready for, opening their arms real wide. So we kind of got to inch in there.
When you push down, the whole thing will fall. Hit it at the bottom. Hit it at the bottom. Hit it, I tell you. Okay, come on.
Watch it. Back up. I'm trying to... Para allá, porque esto se va.